Hi, I'm Kitse and this is part 6 of the Learning Sizzy tutorial series. Today we're going to learn about Butler and all the commands and all the features and everything that our Butler can do. So, of course you're confused. You're like, what the hell is Butler? So I'm going to press Ctrl-Shift-P and I'm going to type in font, awesome, enter, and I'm going to search for boxes. So you can already see that Butler, obviously, by the name is inspired by Alfred and Spotlight on macOS. And also apps like WebStorm and Visual Studio Code, they have their own command palettes where you can just write a shortcut. You can type in a shortcut and basically you're going to get this command list of things that you can do with your keyboard instead of using your mouse. So I'm going to try to show you everything that Butler can do, and I'm going to put a link down in the description so you can actually explore the features one by one, because even I cannot remember everything that this thing can do. So when you open Butler with Ctrl-Shift-P and on Windows and Linux and Command-Shift-P on macOS, you're gonna get an empty prompt for typing in a search query. So what you can do here is basically everything that you can do in Sizzy, you can do it through Butler. So I'm gonna go to Settings, Butler, and here we can explore what do we have. We have General, we have Search Engines, and we have Workflows. So let me just close this. Let's start with General. So Butler helps you switch between view modes, align modes, devices, presets, projects, all the toolbar options, other options, and a bunch of search things. Before we go into search engines and workflows, we're going to explore the basics. So I already showed in the first video, if you haven't seen it, how you can switch between all of these different modes in Sizzy. So you can switch between, let me make this, okay, it's fine. So you can switch between responsive mode, you can switch between full mode, you can switch between resizable mode, photo mode, so on and so forth. I explain everything regarding presets, I explain everything regarding our session manager, and everything that we can switch to from here, we can also do it through Butler. So if I want to switch, for example, to full mode, or if I want to switch to float, I can just type in float, and this is going to switch the align mode to float. Now I can drag my devices around. I'm going to go back to grid. We're going to switch the align mode to grid, and now the devices will be in grid. Let's switch the view modes now. I can go in full mode, I can go in resizable mode, I can go in photo studio to jump into the photo studio, which looks green because of the previous video I recorded. Next up we have the presets, so you can click here to switch between these device presets, like the ones that I created, iPhone, Samsung, my devices, funky layout. But even better, what you can do is you can, one moment you can be in full mode, next moment you can be in iPhones. So you can just search all the presets, or you can type in preset and you're gonna get all of your presets here. So I can quickly jump to minimal and the device is gonna jump to minimal. I can jump to what did I call that one? Funky. So let me search funky layout. Now all the devices are gonna jump into the funky layout. So everything you can do here, you can also do it through Butler. Next up we have session manager. I can also switch to one of my sessions. So I can go to guest, and I'm going to switch the app session to guest. So now the device is going to refresh. We're going to be in guest. I'm going to go back to admin. I'm going to switch the device session to admin. So we covered everything on the left side. Next up is one of the modes that I mentioned in the first video, is we have focus mode. So you can easily jump into the device menu here and click on focus, which is going to focus Sizzy only on one device. And now I'm going to exit focus. So with Butler, you can focus on any of the visible devices here. There's also one more trick. You can focus on any device that you have enabled in Sizzy. So you can see here, first of all, let's jump to Galaxy S7. So I'm going to type in Galaxy S7. So I get all of the devices. So I'm going to jump into Galaxy S7. And now I can just jump back to responsive mode. So it's going to go back. But I can also jump into any of the devices that we have in the drawer. So in the device drawer, I have, these are the visible devices. But in available devices, I have many more. For example, I have Galaxy S20 Ultra. So I can close the device drawer and I don't have to keep it here in order to quickly jump into the device and see how it looks like. So I can type in Galaxy S20 Ultra. So that's going to open that device in focus mode. So when I go back to responsive mode, you're going to see I don't have that one. But with Butler, I can jump to any device that's enabled in the device drawer. What else can our Butler do? As I said, a lot of things. We have show devices, we have presets, we have projects. So in the projects video, I think that was the third or the fourth tutorial. Highly advise you to watch that one. I can easily switch between all of the projects that I have on my disk. So I have all of the projects here. If I want to activate my blog and work on my blog, I'm gonna switch to, I'm gonna type in here Kitse blog. So that's going to switch to that project. Now all our devices are going to get super sluggish because my blog is embarrassingly slow. And I can switch to another project. I can say React Academy, which is kind of faster. And here you can say that you can see that when I type in React Academy landing, for example, Butler gives me more options. So I can just activate the project, which is gonna activate it here. So you can see that I have an active project. But what I can also do is I can do, if I search React Academy landing here, this is gonna give me more options to edit the project, to deactivate the project, to open it in File Explorer, to open it in my editor, to activate and open it in editor. Because usually when you want to work on a project, you want to switch to it and open it in your code editor. So if I want to work on my blog quickly, switch from React Academy to my blog, I can just type in Butler Kids a blog, and this is gonna, well, I don't have a folder set for this project, so that's not gonna work. But I think I can go for tutorial demo, and now I can activate it and open it in my editor. So when I press enter, it's gonna activate the project here, and it's going to open it in my code editor so I can quickly start coding on this project. So of course you can do this with your mouse. You can click here, you can find the project, you can click the project, you can click a bunch of things, but with Butler the idea is to save time. This device is stubborn and doesn't want to refresh. I'm gonna deactivate whatever project I have here, tutorial project, and we're gonna switch all the devices to React Academy. Or we can just jump in full mode and be in full mode because it's easier to look at Butler when we're in full mode. Next up, wait, what's going on here? Come on, device load. There you go. Next up in Butler, we have the toolbar options, which honestly, I have no idea what do we mean by the toolbar options, because we tried to add every single thing that's possible. In Sizzy, we tried to add it to Butler, but now I'm drawing a blank. I have no idea what are the toolbar options or the other options or the search options. Well, the search options are regarding the engines and the workflows, but the rest of it, I would just have to figure it out. Like, let's type the letter A. We have 70 million commands here. Let's see what I can show you here. I think I showed in one of the videos that, for example, if I go to sizzy.co and we jump back to responsive mode, that's way too many devices, so I'm gonna go into like minimal, and with this plugin here, navigate to element, I can type in a selector like pricing, which is gonna take the devices to the pricing section. But what I can do is I can do the same thing with Butler, so I can go navigate, and now I can say features. So it's gonna, all of the devices are gonna navigate to this CSS selector. Boom, all of the devices are here. Let's navigate to pricing. All of them are gonna go to pricing. So we haven't enabled support for all of the plugins yet, but for some of them you can execute them through Butler. For example, for kill port, we have a workflow. So instead of killing a port from here, you can just type in kill and you can write the port here. So this is going to kill the process running on this port. Right now it's going to say failed to kill. Moving on, let's actually jump into, no, let's continue with exploring the options. Maybe I'll dig out something that we can do from here. You can open, I think, the URL editor, and that's one of the features that I haven't talked about. Hopefully I'm going to remember to talk about in the last video I'm going to record about Sizzy. So how about, instead of hoping for that, I can just quickly go to fungazione.com/sizzy/latest, and I'm going to customize the toolbar, go in address bar, enable the URL editor, and the URL editor is this icon that appears here. Gonna quickly show you what it does. It allows you to visually edit the URL instead of messing with the string here like this. This allows you to visually edit the URL. Not gonna go into the details. You can try it out on your own. If I remember to explain it in the next video, I'm gonna try it, but for now I want to show you that through Butler you can just type in URL editor, and that's gonna open the URL editor. I think we allow you to do that with every icon here. So if you want to open notes, you can open the notes. If you want to open your to-dos, you can open the to-dos. If you want to clear your completed to-dos, you can also do that. So you can do clear completed to-dos, which is going to clear the completed ones. So if I complete all of them, I can do clear completed to-dos. So when I open this, they're going to be cleared. You can open the bookmark. No, you cannot open the bookmarks, but you can search the bookmarks. So when it comes to projects, if I'm in, let's say if I'm in React Academy landing, I'm going to activate that project. While I'm in the project, it says that this is an active project. I can search all the bookmarks. I can open links in the reference browser. I can add to-dos. I can add notes, and so on and so forth. So let's go one by one. I have some bookmarks here, so I'm going to search for GraphQL basics. GraphQL basics. which is going to switch the URL to that bookmark. GraphQL advanced, it's going to open that bookmark. Or if I go to some portion of the page that I want to bookmark, let's say it's this one, I can do bookmark current URL, and I can call this landing prod, which is going to save this in the bookmarks for this project. If you don't know what's going on here, you have to watch the videos about the projects. I'm going to put it in the description. So I can navigate to any of these bookmarks. I can bookmark the current URL, and I can navigate to any of the URLs, any of the tabs that I have opened in the reference browser. So we have here something React birthday or something very badly spelled from my side. We have deployment, GitHub, Trello, React docs, Chakra, layout style component, and view docs. So even without the reference browser being open, I can just search for view docs, which is going to give me open view docs in the reference browser. So I can press enter, and that's going to open the view docs in the reference browser. Or what else do we have? We have React docs here. So I'm going to do React docs, and that's going to open React docs in the reference browser. So yeah, you can search for any of these things here. I think you can open the reference browser. Yeah, we have open reference browser if you want to open it without navigating to a specific bookmark. We can undock it if you want to, so we can click undock reference browser, which is gonna directly undock it and show the reference browser in a separate window. And now we can just dock it back, so we can say dock reference browser, which is gonna dock it back. Next up, we have adding to-dos and notes. So there are more things that we can do in the reference browser, but let's first go through all of the icons that we have here. So if I want to add a to-do, I can just say fix header colors, and this is going to be added to my to-dos here. If I want to quickly add a note lorem ipsum something metallica, this is going to go into my notes, because it's very important to have lorem ipsum something metallica in my notes. I can of course open this project in File Explorer. In my editor, I can just do open React Academy. So now we have the options for File Explorer and editor. If I click editor, boom, this is going to open in my code editor, and that's it. I think it's the perfect time to start talking about what we can open with Butler in the reference browser. So I showed the reference browser in the video about projects, so you have to watch that one, because I'm not going to go over all the things again. But the reference browser basically allows you to browse things while you run in Sizzy. So yes, we built like a browser within a browser. So instead of opening the reference browser and searching for something and pressing enter, you can also do that through Butler. So I can open Butler and I can search for something styled, components, repo, and now I have all of these options. So I'm going to search Google. I'm going to search Google for style components repo, and this is what I'm going to get. I'm going to open the reference browser, get a new tab with the things that I searched for. You can switch your search engine. I forgot to mention that. You can go in settings, reference browser, and you can switch your search engine here. So if you want to use DuckDuckGo or Bing, you can do that here. Or when you have a tab open here, you can switch your search engine here. So you have Google, DuckDuckGo, or Bing, you can search it here. So let's say that I'm going to switch to DuckDuckGo. So now when I go here and I search for something, it's a blog, something. Oh no, I have Google hard-coded as a search engine. So that's why it shows Google. So it doesn't matter what the search engine is. I'm gonna show you. So when I type something random that's not a command, for example, when I search for Chakra UI repo or something, I'm gonna get these options. So I can open GitHub, npm package, Google, or Stack Overflow. So I can press enter, and this is gonna search Stack Overflow for whatever I searched for. These are configurable. So if we go in settings, if we go in Butler search engines, now here you can see that I have Google hard-coded. That's why I'm getting it as a search engine. So that has nothing to do with the search engine that you choose for the reference browser here. For the Butler search engines, you would have to, we give you some search engines by default, but you can just create your own search engines. As you can see, they're nothing complex. So you can just put any URL along with search like this, and that's gonna allow you to search that URL. So for example, I have npm package that doesn't actually search anything, but directly goes to an npm package. So if I search for styled components and I put a bunch of spaces, oh no, this is not gonna work. So when you want to trigger one of these search engines but you don't get the command here, what you can do is you can just write the keyword for that search engine. So in Butler for the search engines. We should have, yeah, we're not showing you here, but every search engine has a unique keyword. So for Stack Overflow, I have SO. For Google, I have Google. For GitHub, I have GH. And for npm package, I have package. So if I want to invoke this search engine, I can just search for package styled components. So when I press enter, this is going to go straight directly to npm.js/package/style components. It doesn't search npm for whatever I put here. It just goes directly into this package. So if I can do it again, I can say package Lodash. So now we're going to go straight away into the Lodash package on npm. If I wanted to add a new search engine that actually searches npm, let's try to do that. I'm going to search here for Kitze, let's say, and I'm going to get this URL, right? I'm going to go into settings. I'm going to go into Butler search engines. I'm going to create a new one and call this one npm. And I'm going to paste this URL, but instead of Kitze, I'm going to put search here like this. And in keyword, I'm going to call this npm. While I'm here, I'm going to skip the song because it's annoying. And color, I can choose whatever color. Let's say this is the npm color. This doesn't allow me to save this because I already have npm. So I'm going to call this npm search. And I'm going to click save. Oh no, this doesn't allow me to use this because we have a workflow for npm. So we actually have a workflow that allows you to search npm. That's why this didn't allow me. So I'm going to get into the workflows in a second. Let's just call this npm search. And we're going to replace whatever we search for with this search. So I'm going to go save and I'm going to do npm, npm search Kitze. So this is going to search npm for Kitze. So it's going to open that in a reference browser and it's going to actually search for whatever npm gives you when you search for Kitze. So it's that easy to add your own search engine. For example, quick tip, you can go to DevDocs. They have a bunch of developer DevDocs. I cannot type it. They have a bunch of developer docs. So for example, I'm going to search here for Lodash-pick, for example. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to... Yeah, never mind. I don't know where I was going with this one. I know that I have configured a search engine for DevDocs for myself. You're going to figure it out. I believe in you. You're smart enough. You're going to figure it out how to add your own search engine for searching docs, DevDocs, or whatever else you're using for searching docs. So these are all the search engines. You can add your own, of course, as I did here. I'm going to delete the npm one because we already have a workflow for npm. Now, next up, we're going to go into workflows. For now, we don't allow you to write your own workflows. A workflow is like a custom JavaScript that you can run. Butler can do it for you. But we added a bunch of workflows for you. And I'm going to go through them. So we have, can I use, let's just go one by one. So first of all, we have can I use, which allows you to type in can I use, and then you can type in some query like variables, and you can see whether you can use CSS variables or not. So I can press enter and this is going to open the can I use page for CSS variables, and you can quickly see if they're supported on the browser that you're supporting. So that's pretty nifty because you can actually search it. So it gives you results for whatever you search for here. It's going to give you a result for it, and you can just jump straight to that page. Next up, Butler Workflows, we have npm.js. So I can search npm for styled components, which is going to give me a bunch of things like style components, polish, so on and so forth. Let's say I want to go to polish. This is going to go straight away to that package, to the polish package. And I should really pick my background music playlist to be more in the background instead of being this in your face. Sorry for that. So that's the npm workflow. It allows you to actually search npm, and it gives you back results. Next up, we have search font awesome icons. So you can type in font awesome, you can press enter, and here I can search for box or clip or pencil or whatever. And when I find the icon that I want, I can see the preview, and if I press enter, I'm going to copy that icon to clipboard. So if I paste it, let's say I'm going to paste it here, I'm going to get the class name for that icon. Pretty useful. If you don't need any of these workflows, as you can see, they're disableable, so you can easily disable them. IP, not going to show you this one. I don't want to give away my external IP address. So you can type in IP. It's going to give you your local address and your external IP address. You can easily press enter to copy them to clipboard. Next up, let's do uuid. bcrypt, encode, and decode. So I'm gonna do uuid first. This is gonna generate a random ID, and it's gonna give you that you can take this uuid, you can paste it. So if you ever quickly need an ID, we got your back. Next up we have bcrypt. So if you want to bcrypt a string, like for example, kids likes unicorns, and I can press enter. So let's just paste that into a note. This is what the bcrypted version of that looks like. And I don't know if we do it the other way around. I don't think so. Yeah, we don't do it the other way around, because I think the entire point of bcrypt is to not be able to get it the other way around. We have options for encode and decode, and with them, of course, you can do it the other way around. So what I can do is I can type in encode kids something, and now you're gonna get base64, HTML, URL, and UTF-8. So I'm gonna get base64, and I'm gonna copy it to my clipboard. So I'm gonna put it in my notes here, and I can now take this and I can just decode it. So I can say decode, and I can paste this. We're gonna get base64, HTML, URL, and UTF-8 from whatever we pasted here. So you can go both ways. If you want to encode, like if you want to do something and just have it as URL, so you can easily use the URL encoding, and boom, now this whatever string you put there is gonna be encoded for usage in a URL. So that was the encode decode. I showed you bcrypt, I showed you uuid, I showed you kill port, which allows you to type kill and then the name of the port. And the last one that we have is the color one, which allows you to convert colors. So I can do color RGBA 0000. This is going to give me the representation of this color in different formats. So if I do something like this, now I can have that color in other formats, or I can go let's say that I want this color. Now I can get it in RGB and all of the other color formats. So you can easily just use Butler to convert colors from any format to any format. Told you, have a lot of features. And probably I'm gonna miss a lot. So probably after I finish recording this video, I'm gonna be like, oh damn, I forgot to tell them about this and that. But hopefully you're gonna explore Butler and you're gonna find the rest of the features that I might be missing out on in the video. I actually have the page for Butler here. We have a changelog page, which I'm gonna put in the description, as I said. So maybe from here I'm gonna get any idea about features that I'm missing. Yes, Butler can do math. I forgot that one. So in Butler you can do like any math operation here. So you can do something like this. Super complex math right here. You can use, oh wait, I'm suddenly navigating. I'm not used to my Windows keyboard, so yeah, you can use something like this. Butler is still gonna convert your, yeah, whatever you can convert with the Mac, whatever you can calculate with the macOS calculator in Spotlight, you can also do the same thing here. So feel free to push the limits of this math thingy, and feel free to report that doing super advanced math or whatever you're trying to do doesn't work. But for basic things, it's going to be super nifty when you need just to calculate something like 30 plus 50, because you don't know that probably. So we have a calculator. We can search and navigate to any tab in settings. So we have as you can see, our settings are pretty full of a lot of different options. So if you want to find a particular tab here, let's say that we want to go to full page screenshots, I can just do full page, and you can see that I have the settings, or I can just settings, general, security. I can easily jump to, or any tab in settings. This is going to take you straight away to that tab in the settings. What else do we have? Search engines, show you that one. What I didn't show you. Good thing that I've put this timestamps in the description, so you don't have to watch me struggle while I'm trying to tell you about what will I tell you next. We sort these commands by usage, so the more you use a command, it's gonna pop up first. So if at some point you saw that some commands don't make sense, just know that I've used it so many times that Butler prioritizes that command over the other commands. We have device actions, so if you want, you can do DevTools for Galaxy S7, which is going to open the, or Galaxy S7 Edge, which is going to switch the, it's going to open the debugging panel, and it's going to switch the DevTools to the device that you want to jump to. So you don't have to manually click here, go into, if you're in another tab, you would have to click on DevTools, you would have to click on Galaxy S9. Instead of that, you can just use Butler and you can do S7 DevTools, and you can just easily open the DevTools for, what did I press? DevTools, Galaxy S7 Edge, there you go. So now the DevTools are going to be open for Galaxy. I think I press a keyword, a shortcut on my keyboard to jump into something else. And let's take the devices here. So we allow you to do that, and we allow you to jump into any of these tabs. I say we allow you, like we give you permission. We added options. You can easily jump to any of these tabs in the debugging panel, even if they're even if the debugging panel is closed. Let's say I want to open the social tab here. I can close this and I can just say social, which is going to open the social tab here. And even cooler, if this tab is hidden, if I say I don't need what in the world? Okay, every time I record these videos, there's the weirdest bugs that I would never be able to reproduce this one again. So now I can hide this social tab, and even though it's hidden from here, and even if I close this, I can bring it up from Butler by searching for social, and now it's going to open here as a dialog. So any hidden tab in the debugging panel, it can be hidden there. For example, let's say I don't need the source of the page to be here, but I can always just search for source, which is going to open the source right here, or I can search for social, which is going to open social right here. We can do all of these actions, so we can switch the devices to portrait or screenshot them. So I can do something like rotate, landscape. So it's going to switch all the devices to landscape, switch them to portrait. I can screenshot all of them. I can screenshot individual devices. So I can say screenshot screenshot Galaxy. I thought that that doesn't make sense. Okay, we have screenshot all devices, but we don't have individual. Maybe I disabled that option, or we didn't add it. General, yeah, everything is enabled. So it's pretty weird that we don't have this option. That's pretty weird. So if I go Galaxy S7 Edge, these are the options that we have. Okay, maybe because I'm not in. Let me go in and focus on iPhone 11 Pro. Yeah. You have to be focused in a device in order to get the screenshot option. So when you're focused on a device, as you can see here, I get screenshot with frame, and full page screenshot. So I can do a screenshot with frame here. I can preview it, and I'm gonna get the screenshot with frame. Here, you can also, while you're focused in a device, you can execute any of these options in the menu. So if you want to do like network manager or keyboard mode or print emulation or whatever, you can do that from here. So let's try network manager, which is going to open the network settings for the iPhone. But you have to have one device visible in order to do that. When you're in responsive mode and you see multiple devices at once, we don't give you all of the options for the devices. Active project, already talked about it. I talked about everything in the reference browser, I think. So you can navigate to these pin tabs, you can navigate to these tabs, to these reference links. You can navigate to anything in the reference browser, and you can open new things in the reference browser. I think I covered everything except this last one is the menu bar items. So everything that you can do from the menu in Sizzy, from the menu here, all of these options, like if you want to go to import config, export config, reset config, or anything that we have here, you can also do it through Butler. So if I want to check for updates, I can do it here, and I can just check for updates through Butler. Our goal with Butler is for you to be able to do anything that you're able to do it with a mouse. We want you to be able to do it with Butler, so you can navigate everything in Sizzy with your keyboard. And I think that's it for now. Maybe I'm going to record a follow-up video regarding Butler, but for now I think I covered enough features to get you interested and maybe start using something that you haven't been using before. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to watch more tutorials like this, or if you want to know about what's new in Sizzy, I'm going to record a video with every single update that we release in Sizzy. I'm going to make a video for it. So hopefully you're going to subscribe and you're going to watch those videos. Thank you very much for watching this one. If you stayed through this entire video, you're a champion, and I will see you in this next one. I'm talking too much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.